The Game does a full track-by-track review of J. Cole's The Fall Off, listening 3 times from the perspective of a fan, a hater, and a peer. Bro, who does this, first of all? Who does this? Come on, y'all. Y'all not going to sit here and tell me the Game ain't trolling, bro. A fan, a hater, and a peer. So J. Cole's album is projected to do around 280 to 300K. Pretty solid, pretty solid. A lot of people have given their opinions at this point. One person who gave their opinion is The Game. And The Game, he went through track by track and rated it. Now, this isn't so much about that right now in this video. If you want to check it out, though, XXL did, or double XL, well, XXL, double XL, whatever, did a story on that. You can go check it out over there. But Joe Budden actually has something to say about The Game rating this album. But it's interesting to see what Joe's thought was on that. So let's get right into this clip.
Yeah, we held J. Cole down today. We ain't let Ice do that shit.
Oh, he
ain't let Ice do that. Yeah.
I'll tell you who didn't. Game. You see Game's review of the album?
What is that?
Game's review of what album?
J. Cole.
Oh, man. No. Where's that?
Of course you didn't. No. I just came out. I'm just my segue. Yeah. So
good job, Mark.
Game broke down. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but he made a nice little thing. He went track by track. Some of the tracks we liked, he absolutely didn't. That we talked about last episode. 2-6, he gave 5 out of 10. Safety, he gave 4 out of 10. Run the Train, he gave 8 out of 10. Poor Thing, 9 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Legacy. He loved Bronx Road Blues, 10 out of 10. But then he gave these criticisms like drum and bass, only 6 out of 10. Some of the tracks he said were too long. He was getting like rapperly, like the tone and cadence was off. This was. I just thought it was really interesting. The Let Out 4 out of 10. I thought it was interesting because I don't usually hear a lot of artists rate other artists and records like that with numbers. I mean, that's pretty hardcore. It's on his Instagram. I don't know. I mean, he was saying that out of love. He wasn't saying it with hate or no, he wasn't. Or he was saying like this is.
Stop, Mark. No, man. Listen, The Game is self-proclaimed still active. Why he on here basically criticizing somebody's work unless because like wouldn't you take that personal if you got another active artist basically doing a pretty thorough review? I'm not saying Game can't have his opinion, but that's kind of, you would take that as an attack. I feel like you would take that as an attack by somebody who's like, it's not like they commentating on the sideline and not active in a quote unquote sport at this point. And just with The Game, man, you just always think like there's no good intentions behind it. That I think it's more so because it's him. I just don't get the good vibe feeling there,
Done respectfully, I mean, I just love hip hop, but I just was surprised to hear artists.
He said a lot of the shit that we said. I was showing this. We taking him at his word.
Of course,
this is out of love.
Yeah,
because he's on the list of people we absolutely believe. As we said last episode,
if he doesn't do that on a regular to a certain extent, it's like, where'd that come from? Especially if we're talking about being really anal about the ratings. It's like that's when you're full of love, you're not gonna be anal about things.
No, we know where that came from. Imagine if somebody sat down and did that to his last project. Where do you think Game would be at? He'd probably be on one of those podcasts talking crazy, wouldn't he?
It's like cadence.
If he keeps it up, then
well, he ends in here and says, "Next up, Don Toliver," which is an album I've been wanting to check out this weekend as well. Like,
I'm not mad at him.
Overall, he gave the album 7 out of 10.
He just opened his notepad and track by track and wrote it out.
You don't like him doing that?
I hate him doing it.
Yes, weird.
I absolutely hate him doing it.
Why?
I hate any active artist doing it.
Rapper to rapper, that's weird.
Explain why.
Well, I think there's a code with active artists.
Yep, I agree.
I think there's certain bylaws that you have to abide by as an active artist. Mm-hmm. If you have a relationship with this person, you can give them your real critique behind the scenes. When you do it publicly, it looks performative. 1, 2, MC critique is not going to be like any other critique. So you're putting this out for public consumption, and who is supposed to really understand this unless it's other MCs? 3, this could be thinly veiled as something else. We know Game is fly with Drake. We know there was rumblings of Drake snippets dropping on Cold Day, which y'all may not take nothing from.
Shit.
I do.
I take a lot from that shit. I ain't want to talk about it, but I take a lot from that.
So this is your man, and now
I ain't gonna lie, Joe Budden got some points he's making right here. I mean, but it's not like it's not obvious either. Yeah. It's to think that there was anything but ill intent meant for this review. And of course, he's going to end by saying, "Oh, next up, downtown." He see, it's the same thing academics and all of the other ones do, right? Where they built this, where they do this thing where they try to build a narrative like they're including it in this, I guess, broader conversation. But really, the main topic is just one thing, and they're only doing it for one reason. Let's just be honest about this, right?
You talking about J. Cole and you talking about up next is Don Toliver. That means nothing to me. Don Toliver's album is amazing. So you're not going to get on there and say nothing overly critical about it. It's a great album.
But if you go on track by
that's not true, because he might get on Don Toliver and feel
I didn't like this record
about it. He might be like, this song's a 4, this song's a 5. Then
I'd be proven
so
wrong.
if he did it like that with the same scrutiny that he did this album, then he just might be on.
If he's on some shit now where it's I got some time, I'm just breaking down albums that I'm listening to, and I started with this one. He went track by track and gave a pretty detailed explanation.
He got some songs 10 out of 10.
Why he felt the way he did about it. I'm not mad at that, especially coming from a rapper.
Joe, when you
because he hears things a little differently than the rest of us.
When you critiqued Views, or what was the big album from Drake that it's like Views. It was Views, right?
It was Views.
Were you considered an active artist at that point?
I should have been toward retirement.
Okay.
I should have been toward retirement.
My thing with the game doing it, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is if he could take it back if another rapper does it without getting offended.
No.
That was a large...
No, that's the same thing I was saying. No, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Let somebody... Can you imagine? We ain't just gonna say, can you imagine if somebody like a Cole or Kendrick or heck, anybody that's relevant? I don't think Game is going to take... I don't know how serious he'll take some rapper that's not really relevant. He might throw some shots back, but can you imagine? Because Game still has a name, right? He still has a name with a lot of people. And he's, regardless of what you might think, I think a lot of people still got respect for him. But can you imagine if another rapper with a name and respect and all of that people listen to did the same thing to his albums, to his latest works, and really told the truth about that? Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of low scores on those projects, my boy. You feel me?
Part of me retiring and sticking to it is there's a code. There's if I'm going to sit here and speak about y'all like a critic, then the least I owe it to the game is to not jump back in the dance.
That's true.
I'm sitting as an observer. I'm critiquing as an observer. I'm going to be honest. It may offend some of y'all, but I'm no longer in the club.
That's logical.
And I'm going to stay out the club.
That's logical.
See, I like the other side of that.
Me too.
Now when you talk
like the other side
every day for a living about music,
I'm talking about in the hit. I mean, I'm talking about like being still in it, like almost like an active NBA player sitting there critiquing the game. I like that, and then I still got to get back on the court and lace them up.
See, but you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't.
Why?
Because now it opens the door for every single game that you play
to be critiqued.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I'm with that though? As game, real quick. It was as game.
Mm-hmm.
He might be fine with anybody critiquing me. Niggas been critiquing him anyway.
No, Game is sensitive. Let's stop it. Come on, Ice. No. The game. Come on. We talking about the game. He's fine with being critiqued. Stop. The man can't even take online trolls saying Kendrick's better than him. He uses that as a reason to call out Kendrick. Now, don't get me wrong. There's other stuff going on there that probably been brewing, but Kendrick ain't said nothing to him. He ain't disrespected him. He hasn't critiqued him. He hasn't come. He ain't done nothing. So the game can't even take critique from online critics. You expect me to believe he would take it from another artist? Stop, Ice. No.
So now, and if one of you rap niggas decide to say something about me that I don't like, I'm gonna rap. I'll still jump out. I'll mix it up with you.
If somebody says something about Game he don't like enough,
He's gonna want to fight.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, you shouldn't. If it's just criticism and somebody's critiquing your album, that shouldn't necessarily lead to, oh, I'm gonna get in the booth and shoot back, right? You doing it. just take the criticism, warranted or not. That shouldn't be an excuse to want, let alone want to fight. But even if he didn't want to fight, I could see him definitely wanting to respond on the mic. But that just goes to show, right? Don't dish it if you can't take it. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Game would take a critique from another artist, especially a big name artist, and just, I guess, not respond in some sort of way. I'm not buying that, man. I'm not buying. He's not going to take. It's not going to be productive for him, and he'll have a problem with it.
And that's the point right there. That's why I just said, I hope that if somebody critiques him in the same manner in which he critiquing them,
but I
don't take it personal.
I do think in a perfect world it would be nice to get a good unbiased opinion about music from another person who's actually in music. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think
they should retire so they.
I don't think there's a good, respectful way to do that.
When Tom Brady retires, tell me all about Jordan Love, Dak Prescott. Give me your true opinion on their throwing form and all that. If you going to lace up next week,
I agree.
No,
I agree.
No,
like when Romo and Tom Brady talk, I'll be like, damn.
And in football,
I don't get it.
Basketball, they be trying to have a little more fake freedom, but they even dwindling down on that. In football, I assume that Travis Kelce is retiring soon because of how they talk on that podcast. Like, that says to me, oh, he ain't going to just plan on doing that and doing that.
Oh, they be reckless?
No, but they speak about other people's defensive schemes and game plans and coaches. Like, they really.
So you don't like Draymond's podcast?
Draymond shouldn't be doing that. Draymond get on there and say everything about every team and every player. As a fan, I may think that shit is cool. As a player, I would absolutely hate that.
As a player, I want to, but when I get on the court against Draymond, I want to shut you up. As a player. And if I'm Draymond, come do it. If you can't shut me up, oh well, I'm still going to keep talking.
Yeah, I think
I don't see the problem with that.
As the fan, I think the fan would love to be able to see this, so I hear that. But yes, I do think that there should be
the fan want to consume it all.
The fan wants to hear the Game do this because the Game is the perfect person to do it. He can rap. He has great albums. So yes, but if I'm in the sport and I'm in the game, I don't want to have the person that I essentially have to go back and forth with do that with me. I don't want to do that. I get it.
We on opposite sides of that. I don't see nothing wrong with being.
Yeah, maybe a lot of it's just the fact that it's the game, right? I see their points too, but I just feel like there's something else to it. With the game, this is not just something like, I wonder, has he done this with anybody? Know, has the Game done this with other albums? I haven't looked into it, but I haven't heard anything about him doing this to anyone else's album who came out where he critiqued it that way. But I could be wrong. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong or not. Again, if he had been doing this before and he still does it after, not just once or twice, because that could be part of the scheme, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna do this 1 or 2 times just to make it seem like I was. No. And then like Joe and them said, okay, so you got Drake dropping these snippets, all these leaks around Cole's album, the Game coming out. Come on, man. We not slow, bro. We not slow.
I'm a fan of something critiquing it while you do it. I don't. Especially if I can put out high quality albums, I can.
It's tact and etiquette.
Yeah, I agree.
Some things have.
But again, he's doing it.
To it.
You didn't read the review. He didn't shit on him. He's not doing this disrespectfully.
Says who? He didn't shit on him.
Look at the review.
You an active rapper. Don't call none of my songs a 4 out of 10.
That's right.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah. Okay. What if he's trying to approach his retirement, his exit from music?
You about to drop a podcast?
You need to tell me that. Don't tell me.
I mean, cool.
Shitting on my album ain't the way to announce your retirement.
Where did you shit?
I don't like that.
I don't want to say shit.
I gave the album a 7 out of 10.
Let me say, he didn't shit on.
I don't like him soft launching with J. Cole. Like, did I miss something that he did it with before?
No.
Then maybe I'll change my opinion.
No, not that I know of. I haven't seen anything
before,
but again,
look for it,
but again, this album is so big, like. You're going to get a lot of motherfuckers who probably don't talk about albums got something to say about J. Cole.
This might be the perfect time.
This is nigga, everybody was waiting for this album.
But you're not everybody. You are an active participant who has close relationships with a few of the people that are involved. We don't know what to believe anymore because we don't know who's tight with who hates who's behind the scenes,
it can be taken as a
who's
slight.
on the group chats, who's on the, we don't know.
All of that can exist if Game retired right now. I could still be cool with this person. You don't know who I'm cool with behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, it could still exist, but it looks even more like an affront, a thinly or a not so thinly veiled slight, right? Yeah. And like you just said, man, you got ties to Drake. You already been wilding out, and then we got all the stuff surrounding the album drop. We got this. It's like, you either got impeccable timing or something's amiss.
Nigga, yo, put it up here. Niggas say we covered shit differently because they think we cool with certain people behind the scenes.
Well, we do.
No, we don't.
Shit. I do.
Shit.
Oh, well, y'all do. I don't. But I'm just saying that don't, because he's active, that don't remove the rest of that.
It's a totally different set of rules if he's retired.
Yeah,
if he's retired, it's different rules that you have to abide by and different amounts of respect that need to be paid. It's you don't have to pay that fee at that door. Anyway,
Game is the OG. I don't see him having to pay that fee regardless.
And I think I find it telling. Sorry to cut you off. I find it telling that he mentions at the end Don Toliver. It's almost like you knew niggas were gonna look at that funny. That's why you had to say I'm gonna do somebody else. That was a little weird too.
That's why.
That's what I'm doing next. I wanted to both of these shits just.
No, he had to throw that in there because that's part of the fucking the bullshit cover story. That's it. That's all that is, bro.
Dropped. Don Toliver just dropped last week. And yo, I wanted to hear that this weekend too. Like this is another album that a lot of motherfuckers are talking about. I'm gonna listen to this and critique it.
So question, so does that mean for everyone up here, like if we isolate everyone, does that mean Parks shouldn't be allowed to vocalize his opinion on production and mixing? Does that mean I shouldn't be able to vocalize my ideas on singers and stuff, or you on other podcasters? I don't know. Like I hear what you're saying, but then it don't really make sense when we talk about. If
you made an album like tomorrow, a new album, right? And Usher reviewed it, or Leon Thomas reviewed it, and was like, "This is a 4 out of 10. This is a 5 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10." You feel away, right?
No, I mean, the only reason why I wouldn't feel away is because I'm also in a space with a lot of eyes doing.
Nah, you would. He lying, especially when they gave something a 4 or a 5, and the 4 or the 5 might have been one of the ones he thought was a real good song. and it's just the fact that person, their voice has some weight, carries some weight, right? Nah, he's not being genuine right now.
The same to them.
But your primary role in doing this is not as singer; it's as journalist, podcaster,
but I am,
reviewer.
But I'm still.
You saying because you got a foot in both? That's the same thing that Game is.
And it's same like that's why I bring up Parks. Parks is still heavily involved in the music business. So what happens in that case?
You don't hear the way Parks speaks,
especially about
it's about other producers, engineers, the background people, anybody in the credits. Do you listen to how he speaks? He sounds like somebody where there's a code, there's bylaws. These are my peers. There's a certain respect there. That's how he talks.
Parks has also came over here and said, "I hate this mix, though."
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah, very seldomly.
But he said it. That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter. He said
it. Don't matter.
It's different from a rating and getting anal to piece to piece and 4 and 10s in each song.
The mixer. He'll say, "Yo, the mix wasn't done very good on this." He won't be like, "Yo, blah blah blah, did a shit job at mixing this."
If Game is taking songs track by track, and let's just say track 1, he gives it a 10 out of 10. And then track 2, he says, is a 4 out of 10 for him. That's not him shitting on the person of the project.
I agree.
That's him giving his honest opinion of what he likes about. I think we being choosy and picky if that's the case, because
but I think the point is, why is he doing this with J. Cole's album? I think that's the main point of the conversation. Maybe not so much that he's critiquing an album, but why is he doing this now and to Cole giving everything? I think that's what Joe is saying, besides the fact that Game is, I guess, still active. I mean, I'm trying to think if anybody's like, I guess, active in hip-hop that does that. I don't know. But Jim Jones, he got a podcast, but he still does music sometimes. I don't know if you would consider him active. Nah, I think it's just because it's the Game and what we know about him and his personality and his relationships.
Parks saying it once or twice, and
yeah, but then my argument would be Parks shouldn't say it once or twice. It wouldn't be the Game should do it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not it.
And for me, I have Parks as more respectful than Game.
Same.
Oh, even what he's saying, I don't fuck with this mix. It's said in a way, and his reputation is that of when Game say, this nigga shit is a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It's gonna hit different. It's just gonna hit different.
Okay, so your
also
your opinion is not.
Hip hop is by nature competitive, right? So it's being read through a lens of competition in a way that mixing isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that.
So I think. I mean, like as a fan, I automatically assume Game and Cole still have some little rivalry. I'm sure there's
the fans might not, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Mixers, you do for sure.
But I'm just saying,
amongst producers, you do for sure.
I have no doubt about that. But I'm saying because part of this is how it's being interpreted by the general public. I'm just saying, as a member of the general public, when I hear Game do that, I'm already thinking, okay, what's up with that? Whereas if you said I didn't let that mix.
I mean, generally speaking, because I'm just sitting here and thinking about it. When you look across the board in sports or anything, you really don't see active players and things like that who do like thorough critiques of other players' game, right? Of what they do right and what you generally don't see that. You might hear somebody talk a little shit here and there for the most part, but you don't see them sit down and do it. I'm gonna study film on this person, like in the open. Right? You just don't see that in the open. I'm not saying they don't do it behind the scenes or this and that. You generally don't see it. And look, right, wrong, or indifferent, you can think it is or not. I think, again, I think the main issue right here is that it's the game and his relationships, and we know that he doesn't always have the purest of intentions, to say the least.
My first thought isn't what's Park's issue with that engineer. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just don't think about it.
Okay, so the take, real quick.
I'm just speaking as a fan.
So the take really is more you should be able to critique as long as you're respectful.
Well, no, change what I'm saying.
Listen,
exactly
let me read one of the 4 out of 10s.
Okay.
The Let Out. Beat was fire if this is a Post Malone or Eminem song. I didn't enjoy this one as much as the previous ones. The T.I.-ish harmonies were the second best thing about this song. I did appreciate the concept and the hood spoken word outro too. Overall, I'll give this one a 4/10. Like, even in the 4/10, it's still, I'm not shitting on it. Yo, get this shit the fuck out of here.
It's like a backhanded compliment, though. Again, maybe if it was somebody else, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Maybe if the game was, quote unquote, officially retired, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it just seems a little strange that he's doing it now to Cole's work. I don't care who he does next. This is where you started, and we know who your man's is. You feel me? Backhanded compliment. I mean, look, people like him in academics, they do this all the time, right? They do this all the time.
Shit, no.
Bro, everything ain't gonna be a 10.
I know.
So everything ain't good. Crazy. But even in my saying it's not good, I'm still bigging up what I liked about it. What I'm just like, I didn't just sit here and say, yo, this one is trash.
I want to be clear. I'm not mad at Game doing this.
I'm for this.
But I can understand.
It remind you of like a scenario where it's like somebody like, you know how you might be like, yeah, nigga, get your money up, man. You look all right, this, that, and the other. You got a little ride, this, that, but you ain't like me, though. You feel me? You got a little something, but, it's almost like that. Like, the guy is not complimenting you at all. At all. In fact, he's being condescending. It's almost like that. Yeah, your girl look all right, but she ain't like mine. You feel me? Come on, nigga. That nigga get a little bit of money, but he ain't really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, he got something going. He got a nice little ride. Now, I seen him up there. Yeah, his house look good, man. They not big up in you, bro. They're not big up in you. Come on, man.
Why J. Cole might read that review and feel some type of way.
My nigga, 4 out of 10 is an F.
That's like a big place.
I'm saying that song, but even in your F, it's not a 0 out of 10. It's not a 1 out of 10.
All right, look, we're going to end that right there real quick. Let's go over here to XSL page, and I'm going to show y'all what they talking about. The Game does a full track-by-track review of J. Cole's The Fall Off, listening 3 times from the perspective of a fan, a hater, and a peer. Bro, who does this, first of all? Who does this? Come on, y'all. Y'all not gonna sit here and tell me the Game ain't trolling, bro. A fan, a hater, and a peer. Who wants to look at something from the perspective of a hater if you ain't a hater? How can you even see it that way? I don't know. Let's look at it. First listen, he said, was from a fan's point of view. Second listen was haters. And lastly, of course, from a peer or competitor, right? That way I can review and analyze from all sides. Oh, man. Intro, creative, and chill. 2.6. He gave a 5 out of 10. Safety, he gave a 4 out of 10. Run a Train, he gave an 8 out of 10. Poor Thing, he gave a 9 out of 10. Legacy, he gave a 7 out of 10. Brunts Road Blues, he gave a 10 out of 10. Who the fuck is you? He gave an 8 out of 10. And Drum and Bass, he gave a 6 out of 10. Got a 4 out of 10 out of The Let Out. 5 out of 10 out of Bums in the Ville. Lonely at the Top, 5 out of 10. 39 Intro, 4 out of 10. 7 out of 10, The Fall Off is Inevitable. 9 out of 10 for The Villas. 8 out of 10 for Old Dog. 5 out of 10 for Life Sentence. 7 out of 10 for Only You. Man Above, 9 out of 10. I Love Her Again, 7 out of 10. What If, 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Quick Stop. 8 out of 10 for And the Whole World is DeVille. Ocean Way, 8 out of 10. Okay, so there you go. He says, my opinion of him backing out of the beef didn't weigh anything on me critiquing this project. And although I wish he would have stood 10 toes during that time, it doesn't make me unable to appreciate a good J. Cole project. And that's exactly what this was, a good project. In a world where real hip hop is falling by the wayside, this album was anticipated and needed. Because who doesn't need a J. Cole album in a world full of garbage projects? Did I wish it was sequenced better? Absolutely. The songs needed for a super solid project are here, but are merged together with a few that could have stayed on the hard drive. But at the end of the day, Cole is true to himself first, his fans second. In my opinion, is just my opinion. So as long as he's happy with it and his core fans are, he probably asks me, who the fuck is you? Overall, I give the album 7 out of 10. Yeah, so there we go. Game gives J. Cole a 7 out of 10. Joe Budden says Game shouldn't be doing this right now at this point in his career unless he gonna fall back and play the sideline. And he said there might be some other stuff going on. It's enough to make people question your intentions. I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think this was just purely for the sport of it? Do you think this Game's intentions was pure here and he really just wanted to have a sit and listen and critique it? Do you think he should wait as an active artist? Do you think he should be doing this, or that he should wait to give his opinion like this? Like if you're just gonna go all in and do the podcast thing, fall back from rapping. Maybe here and there you might drop something, but for the most part, you ain't in the league no more. I will say you really don't see that from especially athletes and stuff like that, where people just come out and do things like this when it comes to their peers. But hey, man, y'all tell me, flag on the play or all's fair? You know, let me know what your thoughts is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.